Well, hello guys, it's me, Melissa Curry. I am your HCG cooking coach, and we are starting off today with a delicious meal because I know one of the things that happens on HCG is we get, let's just say, tired of the same things. So I am going to prepare for you today one of my husband's delicious dishes that he made for me because he's such a good cook, and I've now learned how to make it, and I'm going to teach you. So on HCG, we know that we can only do certain food combining. So onion is one of them. We cannot use oils or butters, so I use a lot of vegetable stocks. You could use chicken, I just don't eat chicken. So I've got my pan preheated, okay? And I'm gonna take and I'm going to start by putting down some stock. Then to my stock, I'm going to add my onions, and that is going to give it some amazing, delicious flavor. It's kind of sauteing, but sauteing with a broth, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I've got some garlic. You could use fresh garlic, you could use garlic powder. I like to cheat sometimes, I just use frozen crushed garlic. And I'm going to add, that's like 2 cloves of garlic. For the side dish, we're gonna take asparagus, okay? And I'm simply, you can break it or I'm just gonna cut the ends off. And I'm gonna cook it in the same technique that I was cooking the base for the fish, okay? So I've got this preheating, and again, I'm just going to use the same technique. So got a hot skillet. I'm gonna add, ooh, that's really hot. I'm gonna add my asparagus in just like that. Okay, and I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder over the top of it to give it some nice seasoning, and a little bit of onion powder, okay, because I'm really trying to watch my serving size, right? Like a cup of vegetables is what you get. So I've got that on, and that's ready to go. Now we got to measure our fish. So you want to get a little scale. I zero it, I take it, I turn it on, I zero it out, okay? Make sure I have it in grams. There we go, it's in grams. And I'm gonna zero my plate out again. Okay, so I got that zeroed and ready. I'm gonna take my white fish. This is a beautiful sea bass, okay? Because you must weigh your meat before it's frozen. So that's a little more, it's about the size of your palm. Okay, so that is 100 grams, okay? So my husband is doing a little more high calorie count. That's a smaller piece of fish. Oh, there we go, the same. So we've got that measured. This over here is doing its job. So it looks actually quite nice. So I've got that on. This is super simple. Cooking like this, you know, it's all about the flavors and getting rid of the oils and being able to create the flavors without the fats, okay? In the format so that we can maximize the time that we're putting in to get the weight that we are working to get towards. So those asparagus are coming along quite nice. So now I've got this ready for my fish. My onion is kind of turned translucent. If you can see it, I'll show it to you. Beautiful, okay? And so I'm just gonna scoop that aside, and I'm gonna add a little more broth, and I'm gonna put my fish in, okay? So that's cooled down a little bit, but that's perfect. And I'll go ahead and I'll lay in the fish of choice. You could do this with fish. You could do it with meat of choice, whatever you select to have for dinner that night, okay? So basically, that is it. It's really simple. It's really easy to cook like this. I got the temperature up there. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt at the end. You could use Bragg's amino acids, all different kinds of flavors, okay? So we got the fish going. I'm gonna take that onion out, and I'll put it in a little bowl here, and I'll finish that over the top of the fish. Nice, that fish is coming along beautiful. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got the asparagus on up here, and what I'm gonna do is, you can see that the broth is cooked out. I'm gonna add a little more broth because it's not quite done enough, okay? Now asparagus, I like to have a little more al dente. There we go. I even put a little cover on that. Okay. Just check that fish. give it a little flip over. Wait, and even got a nice little brown on that side of it. So amazing that you don't have to cook with oils to get the textures and the colors that you like. Okay. And you know what, for the fish, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder as well. Super easy, super simple flavors. There we go. And I'll finish it with some sea salt at the end. Now the thing I like about sea bass is it's just such a nice buttery flavored fish already. That's going to add a really nice flavor component. You know, I figure if I'm cutting corners on the amount of food I'm eating, and I'm eating more vegetables and less processed things, that I'm saving money. So I'm going to spend a little more money on crab legs and lobster and sea bass, right? There's no reason that we have to starve and not eat the things that we like when we're doing this program. Okay. So that's coming along beautiful. Let's see, I would say my asparagus. Let me just check it and see where it's at. Oh, that's perfect. I cut it. Let me give it a little sample for the flavor. So delicious. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cover the fish for just a moment because I think that'll help it move along in the process of faster cooking. A little more broth, and I got the lid back on it, and it's going to be done just shortly. It is going to be so delicious. I can't wait to show you how simple this is and how delicious it is, how healthy it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these onions that I pre-cooked back in here with a little more broth. Kind of move those around a little bit to help add to the flavor. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we're almost done. The asparagus looks amazing. So I'm just gonna salt that a little bit, and that is actually ready to go. Let me give it a taste. Oh my God, yum. So simple and so easy. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the fish one last time. And the color on this, oh my gosh, you guys, it looks as if I fried it. It is amazing. Can you see that? Look at that, it's gorgeous. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the onion on top of it and let it sit for about another minute or two. And then we're gonna be ready to eat. Delicious, okay? Okay, so the fish is almost done. I've got cucumbers and tomatoes that I put on here. I'm gonna go ahead and plate the asparagus, which is quite delicious. Okay, a few pieces for me, a few pieces for my husband. Okay, so we eat with our eyes, so we want this to be all beautiful as well. And then, let's see, that piece looks perfect. This piece is a little bit thicker, but I do believe it will be done in just a moment. That's me, Melissa Curry, Dream Life Total Wellness, your HCG cooking coach, signing out.